Yes, hello everybody, this is Ray from Rays United, and I'm back, people. I'm back. Today, I have a special guest with us, and he is the co-founder of WorkforcePool. Now, if you quite remember, I've had a few interviews with him and his team, of course, but today I have just him. So you may have your questions written down for him, but today I've got a few questions I want to ask, but he's got some things he wants to clarify to us as well. And in case you don't know, Workforce Pool is one of the proper pioneers of the power utility platforms when it all started 3 years ago, so or even 4 years ago. So they have been in the game for quite some time. They do understand what Pi Network is about. So listen, I'm prepared to listen to what he's got to tell us. So strap your seatbelts and just pay attention to what he's got to say. When I come back, he's on. Yes, I'm back. This is Rays United, and I have with me Abiodun, co-founder of Workforce Pool. Abiodun, you're welcome.
Thank you, Ray. Welcome. I
Yes,
welcome everybody to this live section. My name is Abiodun, and I'm the co-founder, one of the co-founder of WorkforcePool, and I'm in charge of operation at WorkforcePool. It's nice joining you here again on this live edition of this YouTube live. Thank you.
yes, I am. I am really excited to have you. It's been a while. It's been a while. I think the last time we had it was sometime early this year. That's when we did our last live show. Sorry, people. Sorry so much. Listen, I had a problem with my network. Sorry, Abiodun. Sorry about that. Can you hear me? Am I clear?
Yes, I can. Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Yeah, my network was just messing about, but thank you so much for that. So as I was saying earlier, before I got rudely interrupted by the network, Abiodun, we've not had you for almost of just over a year now, and I think, or probably yeah, under a year. I think it's sometime early this year. That's when we did our last live show. So tell me, what has been happening over the past few months that we haven't actually met up to catch up with what's been going on Workforce Pool? Could you enlighten us on what has been happening or what you've done so far and what's been happening leading up to now?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, for quite some while now, we've been very actively working on the Workforce Pool project, and we internally we had some goals and some milestone that we set out earlier this year that we plan on achieving, and we are on them. Like I say, we are on them right now. We are working on them closely. But just to mention, which is one of our, I can say one of our greatest milestone that we are able to achieve this year. I think we started working on this new project late last year, I think around August or so. So this project is, I believe most of us will have seen it on our platform. We call it Cognito. It's a question and answer based platform, a knowledge sharing platform that is similar to, if we are familiar with Quora, we are familiar with Stack Overflow, Expert Exchange. This is this app, this Cognito app, have similar design with it. So the idea behind this app that we bet, I think sometime last year, is that we see that this Pi community, we need a whole lot of education. We see some knowledge gaps and some questions that have been asked by pioneers that are not given answers to. So we've thought in ourselves that let's create a platform where all these Pi related and crypto related questions can be asked, and it will work with the similar design as Stack Overflow or Quora, as the case may be. So we started working on this project, and to God be the glory, we're able to release the the beta version of this project, I think around Pi 2 day this year. So since then, we've been releasing posting some questions and answer on this platform. So all this while, that is what we've been doing. We've been working on Cognito, and that doesn't mean that we've left Workforce Pool. We are still working actively on Workforce Pool, and some of the updates on Workforce Pool will be released close to the end of this year, by God's grace. So that's what we've been up to throughout this time. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Abiodun. I really appreciate that. Now, with Cognito, I must tell you, I must confess, I haven't actually seen it, so I don't know a lot about it. But the fact that you've mentioned that it's sort of similar to Quora makes me know that, and I like Quora anyway. So if it's similar to it, then I have an idea of what it's all about. Remind us, some people on this platform may not, they may have seen Workforce Pool, they may have seen your work, but they may not even have an idea how vast a resource Workforce Pool could be to them. Could you elaborate on that? What Workforce Pool is all about for the Pi community and beyond?
Okay, thank you. Workforce Pool is as I do say, is the service marketplace for the Pi ecosystem. It is the very right platform for the Pi pioneers to offer their skills. If you want to earn Pi, you can offer your skills. Whatever skills you have remotely, you can offer your skills and get paid in Pi. It's also a platform for those that maybe they are not interested in offering their skills. They are interested in hiring some skills. For example, businesses, as the case may be, they can go on this platform and fetch talent, quality talents in whatever categories they want, hire them to help pay them in Pi. So in a nutshell, Workforce Pool is a freelance platform that is based on the Pi ecosystem. So it's a platform where you can spend Pi and also earn Pi by offering services. So that's what Workforce Pool is all about. Thank you.
Right. Now, this is, I like, to be honest, I've always liked Workforce Pool. I like the platform. I like what it's all about. And I wouldn't probably, when we get onto the open mainnet, which will lead me to my next question, but when we get onto the open mainnet, I wouldn't trade the way you do things with any other related sort of group or entity. Do you know what I mean? So I am definitely all for Workforce Pool, and I've seen the work your team yourselves have been doing behind the scenes, and I'm definitely excited about it. The next question is, what are your real goals? Obviously, about Workforce Pool, what are your real goals for the Pi ecosystem during the open mainnet? Because you and I both know we are heading towards the open mainnet. We don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to be sooner than we think. So, what are your real goals for the Pi ecosystem during the open mainnet?
Okay. My goal for Pi network at open mainnet, I think I've mentioned it in our previous what's it called, previous live sections. So my goal in most of the time is that I want to see a Pi ecosystem where all diverse kind of applications that offer different kind of product and services to people that they can pay, use their Pi for. It's not necessarily has to be trading on exchanges. I want to see an ecosystem that is fueled by real utility, real product and services. It can be SaaS, it can be marketplaces, and whatever that you can use your Pi to access. And when I talked about using Pi to access, it's not only about using the crypto, it can also be using it an authentication method of Pi ecosystem, of the Pi network rather, to access this app. So that is my goal for Pi at Open Mainnet. I want to see an ecosystem that is very robust and rich, with that offers diverse kind of products and services to people that can actually attract people and change the view of Web3 to people. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. And to be honest, Pi Network, a lot of you or some of you may be thinking that, you know, you're going to cash out when we get into Open Mainnet. I understand that. But at the end of the day, it is going to be a proper currency, and you want to be using that currency within the ecosystem most of the times. I understand when people talk about fiat and all of that, it's important, equally important. So yeah, whatever you do with your Pi, that is your prerogative. But me, my advice would be reserve some of your Pi for the its usage or implementation of our ecosystem. And obviously, if you look at the word that the core team used recently, what was the word? When it comes to my mind, I'll let you know. But it's a word that I really liked, and when it comes to my mind, I'll let you know. Anyway, thank you so much, Abiodun. The next
Welcome.
one is the what do you think are the significance of utility platforms in the Pi ecosystem? You know, in general, what do you think are the significance of it?
Okay. The significance of the Pi apps, most especially to the Pi ecosystem, is that they can be the backbone. These Pi apps can be the backbone for the price or value of Pi at Open Network. Because if we have these apps that are offering diverse kind of services and products to people, it brings organic demand to the Pi ecosystem. And when we have organic demand that are growing by day, because these apps are maybe improving on their services and products, and they are growing by day, this bring increase demand to Pi organically, and with in turns rather, it will increase the value of Pi. It will increase the price of Pi in the marketplace, and Pi price will not only be based on speculations on exchanges. If this candle light is going up or going down, we won't need any technical analysis to determine the price of Pi, but mere seeing the quality and the product and services that brings organic demand for Pi, you know that Pi is valuable, because these Pi apps are very significant in bringing organic demand. And I believe that Core Team has been mentioning these times without number, that utility over everything. They don't want a coin that is only fueled by speculation and expectation of people of future increase in price at the exchange. They want an ecosystem, a Pi app that is a Pi currency that is driven by these Pi apps that are offering services and products that can boom or boost the price of Pi. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Abiodun. You're right. A lot of us, or some of us, may look at Pi, especially initially, and would have thought, well, what's the price of Pi? You know, I'm going to convert my Pi to fiat and blah, blah, blah. Then it wouldn't serve the purpose of Pi, because Pi wasn't brought about. If Pi was brought about for us to exchange it for fiat, they would have launched it back in 2021, because then they wouldn't care about us building and strengthening our ecosystem with our Pi apps or utilities that we have. But that wasn't the case. The case was to ensure that we actually build like Abiodun said, the backbone of the Pi ecosystem, which are the Pi apps or the D apps or the utility platform. So I agree with you totally. I do, and I believe that as pioneers, as users of the Pi app as a whole, as in Pi applications, we should be very cautious the way we go about things. I know some of us are in it for uh, quick buck, but of course it's not quick buck anymore because Pi has been around for almost 5.5 years now. So it's not being a quick buck, right? So I am happy about these utilities and yours especially, particularly. But what effects, this is the next one, what effects has the enclosed network? Now, I'll talk about the open network, which is the future. But right now, at present, and obviously the past, what effects have the enclosed network had on the Pi utility platform, particularly WorkforcePool, because I'm talking about WorkforcePool. So what effects has the enclosed network had on it? Positively, negatively, you can let us know.
Okay, thank you. The enclosed network has have a diverse kind of effect on the Pi apps. I'm talking in particular with WorkforcePool. It has kind of, because the service our app offers is a service marketplace, and for people to start accepting Pi, they must have a kind of idea of what value am I getting. Okay, I'm offering my services, my skills, maybe designer, maybe I'm a writer, maybe I'm a programmer. What what is the value of the Pi that I'm getting? And with the Pi, even if I charge this so amount of Pi, with the Pi I charge for the services commensurate with the value I will get when the what's it called, when the open mainnet comes and the Pi price is known by all. So that is one challenge that we've been facing, one effect that the WorkforcePool app has experienced. And this only has kind of reduced the number of engagements that we have on this platform, because people don't know the value of Pi, so they cannot really dictate or commit their time to it. And you hear people say, okay, I'm creating my WorkforcePool profile now to get back at it at open mainnet. So that's number one thing that is affecting us. I can say maybe, let's say, partially negatively at WorkforcePool. Another one that I want to talk about is the ease of getting a Pi wallet. And when I say Pi wallet, I mean, because Pi wallet is actually like a passport to access WorkforcePool, especially the mainnet app, WorkforcePool app. If you don't have a Pi wallet, it will be impossible for you to kind of access WorkforcePool. So this ease of this getting Pi wallet not being so smooth and easy is actually also affecting us in a negative way, because there are lots of people that will have joined, but because they don't have mainnet wallets, because they have no KYC, they are unable to join. So those people I mentioned are left out of WorkforcePool. They don't have, they can't use WorkforcePool. So that's another effect that the enclosed network has had on us. But speaking of positive effects, the enclosed network has actually given the Pi community the chance to kind of learn more about the Pi apps, the Pi ecosystem. What services can we see? What services are the Pi apps bringing to the table to offer the community? So this enclosed mainnet actually gives that chance for pioneers to learn more about the ecosystem and kind of invest in depth themselves in the in the use of these Pi apps. So those are some of the effects of enclosed network on Workforce Pool. Talking about to recap, talking about the negative side, it kind of stopped the growth of the platform, and ease of use is not easy for people to get all the necessary toolings like the Pi wallet, the KYC, to actually have access to this app due to the condition of the ecosystem and the technology. And lastly, talking about the positive side, it gives us the chance to actually learn more about Pi ecosystem and what the Pi core team are actually interested in building. Thank you.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned those effects, albeit both positive and negative effects. And I knew exactly what you were talking about. I understood the fact that, the negative ones are there. I mean, some people don't have, they haven't been migrated yet. So therefore, they can't do anything. Even if they're migrated, the price of Pi, nobody knows yet because we're not in the open mainnet open network. So that can't happen. However, on the flip side, it's helped in the long term because it's made people understand what Pi Network is all about and what the utility platform is also about. And because of that, even you as a group, as a team, have been able to rectify a few errors here and there that may have happened if the open mainnet had happened earlier. So again, yeah, there's been the ups and the downs, but I feel like it all evens themselves out. So all in all, personally, I would say, we're on a level playing field now. When open mainnet is launched, we'll start afresh because everybody's gone through the highs and the lows. We've all been through it. We've been through moments when we feel like, come on, man, what's the core team doing? We're not hearing anything. What are they doing? Do you understand what I'm saying? So we've been through those moments, and it's typical of us as humans to go through that. And so we've come out of those dark moments, and I believe that now the road looks much better. The journey looks much clearer. So I am happy. Do you know what I'm saying? Somebody's typed something in French. Can somebody who understands French translate it, please? Because I need to know what the person is saying. Because eventually, I am going to comment. I'm going to read your comments. So you might as well translate the French comment into English so I can do it. Because John Snow, you understand it, but he said no, I don't know what he's saying. So you might as well translate it in English. You can put it through Google Translate and translate it directly, so we can do something. Because I need to talk about that. Anyway, thank you so much, Abiodun, for that response. Now, yes, let's go to the open network part, which is the future. So we've spoken about the effects of the enclosed network on your project, for instance, WorkforcePool. I don't want to talk about any other thing. WorkforcePool. Now let's look into the future. Now, open network. Let's look at what effects that can have, and this is big. So let's look at the effects the open network or open mainnet when it's launched could have on a utility platform or a Pi app like yours, please.
Okay, thank you. The open network, just as Nicholas mentioned in the Pi 2-day broadcast, that is just the beginning. So the same thing applies to Pi apps and WorkforcePool in particular. It's just the beginning of these Pi apps to start engaging with the broad market. So they are now faced with competition from other application or companies that are offering the same services and products to users. So open network opens that ground for competition with wider people. So you have to up your games in terms of development and making your product easier so that you can get to a product market fit. So it's actually the period of time for the buyers to attain product market fit, because I believe that this enclosed network is a period where Pi apps can test, iterate their products so that they can suit different kind of users' purpose. But once we are in open network, the chance won't be that much, because you are dealing with real people now, people outside of Pi ecosystem that might not be totally loyal to the Pi ecosystem. If you are offering a quack product or services to people, they will leave your platform and goes to other competitor that are offering the same service that you are offering. So it's a point in time that WorkforcePool and Pi apps in general need to work on their products. So you have to attain that product market fit that can actually attract people to actually use your product, because people coming to open network, people are no longer attracted by maybe Pi code, Pi community, the hypes and the recommendation from code team. They are actually attracted by what they see, what unique feature is your product, bring it to the table. How is your product better than other products that are in market? So all these things must be put in checks to offer good products and services to people so that they can get attracted and stick with your product. Without that, it will be kind of tedious for the Pi apps to flourish at open network. So it's actually the time for full realization of the potential for Pi apps. And also is the time where we actually get to know the price of Pi, and more people that are maybe left out of the adoption of the use of these Pi apps we have access to use Pi apps and actually spend their Pi, because now they know the value. So I believe that these are the effects that the open network can have on Pi apps. Firstly, it has the price effect. People can now quantify their services. They can now, okay, this is the dollar or USDT or other crypto equivalent of the service I'm offering on WorkforcePool, or this is the amount I'm actually getting for selling the amount of Pi equivalent I'm selling this goods at in some other goods marketplace. So they actually know the value, and they can now make informed decision and use the app. And secondly, it's about the reality of competition. Apps need to step up their games and provide good quality services that are actually better than the ones that are already on the marketplace. It's not only about decentralization, it's about having a product that is good, that meets users' purpose, and offer them better services that other applications that are on the market are not offering. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, sorry about that. I'm back. Yes, thank you so much, Abiodun, for that. So the questions I have for you have now come to an end, and now
Okay, thank you.
I'm expecting some questions regarding this, not about your questions with regards to KYC and all of that. I'm not talking about those things today, because this is about WorkforcePool. I'm interviewing their co-founder, so your questions have to be about utilities, unless it doesn't concern you and you don't care about it. If you do care about it, put your questions across to the co-founder of WorkforcePool, Abiodun, and he would answer your questions. Else, within the next few minutes, hey, we will just disappear and we'll leave you in peace. But you have the next 5 minutes to be able to ask Mr. Abiodun some questions if you want to, and let's see. In the meantime, I would just ask maybe one question. as a pioneer who obviously has been on Pi Network for the past 5 years. In the next coming 11 days, I'm going to be 5 years on Pi Network. So, I can hold my own and say, yeah, I've seen what Pi Network is all about. Now, Abiodun, this is more to do with the Pi Core team, and you as a
Okay.
pioneer, obviously. So I've asked you questions about Workforce Pool and what your goals are and so on and so forth. What do you think the Pi Core team or even Pi Network as a whole could do to help utility platforms like yours so you can obviously stand on your 2 feet when Open Mainnet comes and you say, you know what? Yes, we've got all the help or most of the help we need. What can they do? Because this is something that I always have as a question to the Pi Core team. But what do you think they can do to help?
Okay. What the PICO team, I believe what they can do, especially as we are now progressing to the open network, is to kind of give the Pi apps that have proven quality and that can bring that organic demand that Pi needed to flourish at open mainnet to more people to reach. So they should bring these Pi apps, maybe list them on the Pi ecosystem interface in the mainnet versions, to list them, promote them, and support them so that they can get the exposure and reach that they needed to flourish at open mainnet. Because I won't deceive you, regardless of anything, any price, the Pi code team need to do more about giving these Pi apps exposure so that they can reach more pioneers as soon as possible as we are getting closer to a closed mainnet. Because one thing that I've observed personally, one thing that I've observed in the Pi ecosystem is that most pioneers are not aware of many of these apps that are offering one utility or the other to the Pi ecosystem. They don't know, they don't see any utility. What utility do we have? They don't know which Pi app, what this Pi app is doing. So Pi Code team need to do more as we progresses to open mainnet in regards to giving this what's it called? These Pi apps more grants to reach more people so that they can flourish at open mainnet. It can be in terms of promoting them on Pi apps, maybe offering them some marketing support so that they can reach wider audience and Pi community in particular. So that's one important thing I feel the Pi code team needs to do to support Pi apps. We've seen them offering monetary support, establishing Pi incubator program and stuff like that, just to support these Pi apps. But they need to do more in terms of giving them exposure and reach so that they can get to the pioneers and the community that needs their services and products. Thank you.
Absolutely, Abiodun, absolutely. They need to openly support and back these, especially. I want to ask you a question. Is WorkforcePool mainnet ready?
Sure. WorkforcePool
Okay,
is mainnet ready.
yeah, because obviously, so it's one of those who are obviously trying to get the numbers to 100. In your view, do you think we're closer to the 100 than we were before? 100
Well,
Pi
one
apps.
one of that mainnet ready, but I feel that
Yeah,
we are closer because there are more apps. I think hundreds of them that are currently being built on the Pi app platform. So I believe that near, we should be closer to actually hitting the set milestone for open network of 100. But it now boils down to the core team judgment on which and which of this app are mainnet ready, which of them are not qualified to fit into that category. But I believe personally that we are closer to 100 mainnet ready app. It might even be more. It might even be more than that if we check deeply. Thank you.
Right. That is interesting to hear. It might even be more than that. That is interesting because if it's more than 100, then we'll only be waiting on the KYC numbers, which I believe is very close to the 15 million we're looking at, or probably surpassed it already. And then obviously from October the 1st, we will have the migrations happening thick and fast. So in your opinion, before I go to the comments regarding what we're doing on the chats, in your opinion, do you believe we can get to, or we would get to open mainnet by the end of this year?
Yes, I feel we can get there because the as I've been my as it is been my belief that the major obstacle that can prevent us from eating the open network at the end of the year, as described by the PICO team, is the KYC number. And with the last announcement, I think we are over 13 million, and we are just 12. Sorry, we are just about 2 million KYC pioneers away. And I believe that we should be able to hit that milestone by the end of the year, given the fact that the grace period for the KYC has started I think July 1st, and the first milestone, that is the September 30, which is less than few days end of this month, we come to close. So any pioneers that is not KYC, that did not submit his or her KYC before or on that day, that that pie from that pioneer will be wiped out. So that step from core team to initiate or implement the grace period is actually a testament that we are very, very closer to the hitting the milestone. And I believe that with that grace period, people, core team is actually hustling people, rushing people to actually complete their KYC on time so that we can hit the 15 million mark and more, so that we can focus on migration. I believe migration is not the problem, because I can see many pioneers that are being frustrated by the ups and downs and how slow the migration is. But I can remember these pioneers have forgotten that in June, is it 2022, that the core team started this migration. Over 1 million pioneers were migrated under few weeks. This can also be possible. We can migrate millions of people at a very short period of time. Migration is not the problem. The bottleneck now is the KYC, and since the core team has implemented the grace period, that shows a confidence in them that, look, we are ready to go open mainnet at the end of the year. So that's my thought. Thank you.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But I always base my comments or my suggestions or whatever I have on what I know. And so far, I don't know when it could be, but I'm just looking at the trajectory. So, but when I have something, the community will be the first to know. Now, let me just read a few comments, because I've seen some comments in relation to what we're doing has just popped out. So this person here, Samuel, says, how can we get access to WorkforcePool now?
Okay, to get access to WorkforcePool is very easy. Just type www.workforcepool.com on the Pi browser, and you'll be logged onto the WorkforcePool app. And from there, you can start interacting with the app.
Oh, that's simple as that, Samuel. So all you do is go to the Pi browser and type in the web page, or sorry, the website URL on there, www.workforcepool.com, and you should get it right there on the Pi browser. That's where you do it. You don't do it on any other. Just go to the Pi browser to be safe. Let me see a comment here from Ashish. He says, yes, indeed, only when Pi has a real value, uh, then only can shopping Pi apps expect to be a success. He's absolutely right. Okay, and then he also made a comment here. Many pioneers do not want to use Pi apps since they value their Pi coins and are confused on the price mentioned on these apps. All right, we've mentioned that as well. So that is good. John Snow here saying that
Okay. John Snow, how can we? I think Ray is freeze now. Maybe he's having a network issue. How can we link our Pi network account on WorkforcePool? Just like I said, the process is pretty much automatic. Once you type the URL www.workforcepool.com into the Pi browser, you'll be automatically authenticated with your Pi username into WorkforcePool. And if you want to conduct any transaction or so, app will automatically the app will automatically connect you so that you can make payment through the payment SDK of the Pi network. I believe I've answered your question.
yeah, thank you so much, Abiodun, for taking over, because today my network is not really giving me any chance at all. I don't know why, but it's really messing about. Thank you so much. Somebody says we're patiently waiting for open mainnet. Of course, that's what we're doing. Okay, people, listen, anything that doesn't regard, that has nothing to do with what we're doing here, I am not going to answer, because it had to do with Workforce Pool in particular, and utility platform. So I am happy about what Abiodun has come here to discuss and share with us. And I know that with his vast expertise in the Pi utility platforms and so on, listen, a lot of you will pay attention, because I always want to get these executives of the Pi apps to come here. And so when I always find one, I'm excited to have them and get them to answer most of our questions. So if you've got any questions, please put it in the comment section after the live show, and I'll try and if I can answer it, I would. If I can't, I'll send it to Abiodun and his people for them to answer the questions. And you can also go to their site, of course. Go to their site on the Pi browser, www.workforcepool.com, and you will get to see everything that is required of you when you are on their platform, as well as they do have their Twitter account. Go there, follow them, and see what they do as well. Abiodun, what is your last words that you have for the audience here, please?
Okay, thanks. I want to use this opportunity to thank you for this invite to come and speak with the Pi community. And I also want to appreciate each and every pioneers that have joined this live section. What I want to say is that Workforce Pool is the platform where pioneers can actually get to earn more Pi. When you are mining Pi, you are kind of limited to how much Pi you can mine at a given period of time. But when it comes to Workforce Pool, you are actually the one that can decide how much Pi you can earn. You can set your rate. You can earn more. There's no limit to how much Pi you can earn on Workforce Pool. So come open network, you have the chance to get yourself as much Pi as possible by just using Workforce Pool app. And Also, if you are not offering your services, you can also get a platform. WorkforcePool is also the platform for you to actually get to see quality talents that are within Pi Network, Pi ecosystem, that are willing to accept Pi for their services. You get to see graphic designer, programmers, and what have you. You get to see them, fetch them, and employ them or hire them to do whatever service you need them to do. And lastly, I want to mention on Cognito. Cognito is our newest app. It's our newest app. So Cognito is a platform where you can ask, we call it crypto and Pi focus knowledge sharing and question and answer platform. If you have any question, you can visit about Pi Network, or you want to know anything about blockchain, cryptocurrency, Cognito is actually the best place to ask. And if you want to access Cognito, you can do this by visiting cognito.workforcepool.com. So that is the URL, cognito.workforcepool.com, for you to start asking and posting your questions. And you can, if you are a content creator, you can also use Cognito to create a question and answer based content, which can get community reaction and stuff like that. So thank you once again for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, Abiodun, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you honoring the invitation. And people, listen, this was a show about an interview that I have with the co-founder, one of the co-founders of WorkforcePool. So please don't come here and ask questions like Shillong Tier here is asking. It has nothing to do with the show. So you can come on again on my other, Pi Network live shows. One may occur on Tuesday or Wednesday, and you can ask your questions. But here specifically is to do with Pi utilities and obviously particularly WorkforcePool. Thank you so much, Abiodun, for coming on, and thank you all for coming.
You're welcome.
All. And their name is Ray, channel Rays United, where there's peace, and I love you. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.